Close your eyes for a moment. Take a slow breath in through your nose and let it out gently through your mouth. You don't need to force anything. Just let the day loosen its grip a little. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. God, we're coming into your presence right now just as we are. Not cleaned up, not figured out, just tired and needing you. Tonight, we're not here to impress you or to say everything perfectly. We're here because the day has been loud, and our hearts are still carrying noise. There were conversations that stayed with us longer than they should have. There were thoughts we couldn't finish. There were things we wish we had done differently and things we didn't even have the strength to deal with. And now the night has come, but our minds are still running. God, you see all of that. As we breathe slowly, we ask you to help us. Help us step out of the rush we've been living in. All day long we've been reacting, deciding, answering, holding things together. It takes so much energy just to get through a normal day, and now we feel it in our bodies. The tiredness in our muscles, the heaviness behind our eyes, the restlessness that doesn't always go away just because we lie down. God, meet us right here in this moment. We're letting go of the need to stay alert. We're giving ourselves permission to stop scanning for problems, to stop replaying moments, to stop planning tomorrow, just for a few minutes. God, you don't sleep, so we don't have to stay awake guarding everything. We place the weight of this day into your hands. The emails, the unfinished tasks, the responsibilities, the expectations. We're not denying them, but we're setting them down for now. Some of us are carrying worries that feel too big for nighttime. Worries about people we love. Worries about money. Worries about health. Worries about the future and how everything is going to work out. Those worries have been sitting quietly in the background all day, and now that it's quiet, they've gotten louder. God, you already know them. We don't have to explain them perfectly. We just bring them to you, one by one, even if all we can say is, "This is heavy." Help our hearts slow down. Help our breathing become steady. Help our thoughts lose their sharp edges. God, we ask for your calm not as an idea, but as something real, something we can feel settling into us. Let it reach places we don't even have words for. Places where stress has been living so long that we forgot what peace feels like. We acknowledge that today took something out of us. Even if nothing dramatic happened, even if it looked like an ordinary day from the outside, it still required strength. It required patience. It required emotional energy. And now we are empty in ways we don't always admit. God, you are not disappointed by that. You are close to us in it. As we rest here, we stop trying to solve ourselves. We stop trying to fix every emotion before we sleep. We stop trying to earn rest by being productive enough or strong enough. We simply receive this moment, as it is. God, let your presence be felt not as pressure but as safety, like a quiet room where we don't have to perform. Some thoughts keep looping in our minds, replaying scenes, imagining different outcomes, asking, "What if?" over and over. God, we notice those thoughts, without fighting them, and we gently place them in your care. We don't need to chase them tonight. We don't need to come to conclusions right now. There will be time for clarity later. Right now, there is rest. We ask you to calm our nervous systems, the parts of us that have been on edge expecting the next problem, the next demand, the next disappointment. God, remind our bodies that they are safe in this moment, that right now, in this breath, nothing is required of us except to be here with you. If there is guilt lingering from today, things we said we regret, things we didn't say when we should have, moments we feel we fell short, God, we bring those too. We don't push them away, but we don't punish ourselves with them either. We trust you with our imperfections. We trust you with our humanity. Let that guilt soften. Let it lose its grip as we remember that you are patient and kind with us. We also bring the quiet sadness that sometimes shows up at night, the kind that doesn't always have a clear reason, the sense of loneliness, or longing, or disappointment that settles in when everything slows down. God, sit with us in that. We don't need you to rush us past it. Just help us feel less alone inside it. As we continue to breathe slowly, We imagine the noise of the day fading into the background, not disappearing all at once, but becoming less sharp, less demanding, like a radio being turned down little by little. God, let your peace become the louder voice, not through force, but through gentleness. We acknowledge that rest can feel hard for us. Some of us are used to being in control, used to staying busy, used to measuring our worth by what we do. Stopping feels uncomfortable. Being still feels unfamiliar. God, teach us that rest is not failure, that slowing down is not weakness, that sleep is not a waste, but a gift. We invite you into the parts of us that resist rest, the part that feels like if we relax, something will go wrong, the part that believes we must stay vigilant to be safe. God, we place those fears in your care. We remind ourselves that you have carried us through every day, so far even the hard ones. We are not alone tonight. Let this moment be a threshold, a gentle crossing from the busyness of the day into the quiet of the night. We're not rushing it. We're allowing it to happen naturally. With each breath, we feel a little more grounded, a little more present, a little more at ease. God, thank you for being near even when we don't feel spiritual, even when our minds are cluttered, even when our faith feels tired. Thank you for meeting us in ordinary moments like this, when all we're doing is lying still and breathing. We settle here, not expecting everything to be resolved, but trusting that we don't have to carry everything right now. We allow ourselves to be held by this calm, knowing that this is only the beginning of letting our hearts slow down and rest in you. As we stay here in this quiet, we notice things starting to surface that we didn't have space for during the day. When everything finally slows down, what we've been carrying finds its way to the front. God, we don't run from that. We let it come gently. We trust that you can hold what we've been holding alone. Some of us feel an emotional weight that's hard to explain. It's not just tiredness, it's a kind of heaviness that comes from caring deeply, from trying to do the right thing, from wanting life to feel more stable than it does right now. God, you see the effort behind that weight. You see how much we've been trying even when no one else notices. We bring you the concerns that feel unfinished, the conversations that didn't get resolved, the situations where we're waiting for answers that haven't come yet, the decisions that are still unclear. God, our minds keep circling these things, hoping that if we think long enough, something will click. Tonight, we choose to pause that cycle. We acknowledge that clarity doesn't always come through pressure. Sometimes it comes through rest. There are responsibilities sitting on our chest tonight. Expectations from work, from family, from people who depend on us. Some of those expectations feel fair, and some feel overwhelming. God, we admit that we don't always know where our limits are. We push past them, and then we wonder why we're so drained. Right now, we ask you to help us loosen our grip. Not because these things don't matter, but because we are human and we need rest. As we breathe, we imagine handing you what we can't carry through the night. Not dramatically, not all at once, but slowly. One concern at a time. One name, one situation. We don't rush. We don't force peace. We simply allow space for relief to begin. Some of us are holding on to fear that's been quiet but persistent. Fear about what could go wrong. Fear of losing something important. Fear of being disappointed again. God, fear has a way of tightening our bodies and stealing our rest. Tonight, we don't shame ourselves for feeling it. We just acknowledge it and bring it into your presence. We ask that it doesn't get to control the night. There may be tension in our bodies we've ignored all day. Tight shoulders, a clenched stomach, a shallow breath. God, we gently scan ourselves without judgment. We notice where we're holding stress, and we invite your calm into those places. We allow our muscles to soften. We remind our bodies that it's okay to let go now. Some of us feel emotionally worn down, not from one big event, but from a buildup of small pressures, constant demands, little disappointments, the feeling of always needing to show up even when we're running low. God, you understand that kind of exhaustion. You know what it's like to carry burdens quietly. Meet us in that tiredness with kindness. We bring you the parts of our hearts that feel uncertain. The places where our confidence has been shaken. The moments when we've questioned ourselves or our choices. God, we're not asking for all the answers tonight. We're asking for steadiness. A sense that even if things are unclear, we are not lost. There are emotions we've pushed aside because they didn't fit into the pace of the day. Frustration we didn't express. Sadness we didn't want to slow down for. Disappointment we told ourselves to get over. God, those emotions didn't disappear. They're here now, asking to be acknowledged. We let them exist without trying to label them as good or bad. We trust that you can sit with us in them. As the night deepens, we release the pressure to be strong. We release the idea that we must hold everything together on our own. God, strength doesn't always look like pushing forward. Sometimes it looks like resting, like admitting we need help, like allowing ourselves to be supported. We notice our thoughts beginning to soften. They may still come, but they don't feel as sharp. They don't demand immediate attention. God, help us stay gentle with our minds. We don't need to control every thought. We don't need to judge ourselves for wandering. We simply return to this quiet awareness of your presence. Some of us are grieving something tonight. A loss, a change, a version of life we hoped for that didn't happen. Grief doesn't always show up loudly. Sometimes it settles in quietly, especially at night. God, we don't rush past that pain. We trust that you are near to the brokenhearted. Even when the brokenness feels subtle and unnamed, we bring you the people we're worried about, those who are struggling, those who are far away, those we wish we could protect more than we can. God, we acknowledge our limits. We care deeply, but we can't control outcomes. We place them in your care, trusting that you see them even more clearly than we do. As we continue to rest here, we feel a gradual shift, not a dramatic change, but a steady easing. The weight isn't gone, but it feels more shared. The worries haven't disappeared, but they don't feel as isolating. God, thank you for being with us in this quiet exchange, where nothing flashy happens, but something real is taking place. We give ourselves permission to stop revisiting the same concerns over and over tonight. We remind ourselves that resting does not mean giving up. It means trusting that tomorrow will have its own grace, its own strength, its own clarity. Right now, this moment is enough. We allow our breathing to deepen slightly. We notice the support beneath us, the stillness around us. God, we let that stillness work on us. We don't analyze it, we don't rush it. We simply stay present. Thank you for receiving everything we've brought into this space. Even the things we couldn't fully articulate. Even the feelings we don't understand yet. Thank you for being patient with our process, for not demanding resolution before rest. We remain here calmer than before, more settled than when we began. Not because all problems are solved, but because we are no longer carrying them alone. And as we stay in this quiet, we allow our hearts to continue softening, preparing for deeper rest as this prayer gently moves forward. As we stay in this calm space, something begins to settle deeper inside us. It's subtle, almost quiet, but real. The kind of calm that doesn't rush in all at once, but slowly spreads, like warmth moving through a cold room. God, we notice that we don't feel as tense as we did before, and we don't try to explain it. We just let it happen. Our thoughts are still there, but they feel farther away now. They pass through instead of pulling us in. God, help us stay gentle with ourselves if the mind wanders again. We're not doing this wrong. Rest is not something we achieve, it's something we allow. Some of us are used to being needed, used to being the one who listens, who fixes, who carries others. At night, when there's no one asking for anything, it can feel strange, even uncomfortable. God, we ask you to meet us in that quiet identity shift. Remind us that our worth is not tied to how much we do for others. We are enough simply by being here. There's a part of us that stays alert even when we try to rest, always listening for the next problem, always bracing for disappointment. God, we invite you into that guarded place. We don't force it open. We don't criticize it for existing. We simply ask that it doesn't have to work so hard tonight. As our breathing continues, We notice it becoming slower, deeper, more natural. Not controlled, just steady. God, let each breath be a reminder that you are near, that nothing needs to be rushed, that this moment is safe. Some of us carry memories that surface at night, things from the past that still have emotional weight, moments we thought we had moved past, but they still find us when the world gets quiet. God, we don't fight them tonight. We don't analyze them. We simply hold them in your presence, trusting that they don't define us and they don't control this night. We ask you to bring peace to places inside us that feel fragmented, places where we feel pulled in different directions. God, gather us gently. Help us feel whole, even if life feels messy. Help us feel grounded, even if the future feels uncertain. There are dreams we've been carrying that feel delayed, hopes that haven't unfolded the way we imagined. God, sometimes that disappointment shows up as exhaustion, rather than sadness. We bring that to you now, not with bitterness, just honesty. We trust that you understand longing, waiting, and the ache of uncertainty. As the night continues, we allow ourselves to stop measuring progress. We stop checking whether we're relaxed enough or calm enough. God, we release the need to evaluate this moment. We simply experience it. We trust that rest is happening, even if we can't track it. Some of us feel pressure to be strong all the time, to not need help, to not show weakness. God, tonight we let that go. We admit that we are tired. We admit that we don't have all the answers. We admit that we need rest in ways that go deeper than sleep. And we trust that you are not disappointed by that need. We notice how stillness feels in our body now, the way the bed supports us, the way gravity gently holds us in place. God, let this physical rest remind us of a deeper truth, that we are held in every sense, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually too. If anxiety tries to return, we don't panic. We don't get frustrated. We return to awareness. This breath, this moment. God, thank you that we don't have to start over every time our mind drifts. We just come back. Some of us are afraid of tomorrow, not because we know something bad will happen, but because uncertainty feels heavy. God, we place tomorrow in your care. We remind ourselves that we will not face it alone, that whatever comes will come with strength we don't need to access right now. We also bring gratitude into this space, gently, without forcing it. Gratitude for small things, a moment of quiet, a place to rest, the ability to pause. God, we don't use gratitude to ignore pain. We let it coexist with honesty. Both can be here at the same time. As our hearts settle further, we feel less urgency to think, to plan, to resolve. God, let that urgency continue to soften. Let the night do its work. Let rest reach deep, places we didn't know were tired. Some of us feel emotions we can't name. A mix of relief, sadness, hope, and weariness all at once. God, thank you that we don't have to label everything. We trust that you understand us even when we don't understand ourselves. We ask you to quiet the inner critic that tends to speak up at night, the voice that replays mistakes, the voice that tells us we're behind, not enough, failing. God, we don't argue with that voice tonight. We simply let it fade into the background as we focus on your nearness instead. We allow our jaw to relax again, our shoulders to sink a little deeper, our hands to rest without tension. God, help our bodies receive the message that it's okay to let go. There's a sense now that we don't need to hold the whole world together, that things can exist without our constant attention. God, thank you for carrying what we cannot. Thank you for being steady when we feel unsteady. As we remain in this calm, we notice that silence no longer feels empty. It feels full, supportive, gentle. God, let that silence continue to wrap around us, creating space for deep rest. We don't rush toward sleep. We don't resist it either. We simply stay here, allowing peace to deepen at its own pace. Trusting that this quiet is doing more for us than we realize. And as this sense of calm continues to grow, we remain open, relaxed, and present, ready to move even deeper into rest as this prayer gently carries us forward. As the quiet deepens, we notice how different this moment feels from when we first arrived here. There's less effort now, less resistance. We're no longer trying to calm ourselves. The calm is already doing its work. God, we allow ourselves to sink into this gentler state, without questioning it. Our bodies feel heavier in a good way, supported, grounded. The kind of heaviness that comes when we stop holding ourselves upright emotionally. God, thank you for this release. Thank you for creating us in a way that allows rest to come naturally, when we stop fighting it. The mind may still wander, but it doesn't pull us far. Thoughts come and go like distant sounds, not urgent, not demanding. God, help us stay detached from the need to follow every thought to its conclusion. Tonight we don't need closure. We need rest. Some of us are learning, maybe for the first time, what it feels like to not be bracing for something, to not be waiting for the other shoe to drop. God, if that feels unfamiliar, help us trust it. Help us believe that peace doesn't always mean something is missing. Sometimes it means something is finally settled. We notice how the night itself feels different now. The stillness is softer. The silence feels less empty and more comforting. God, let this environment support the rest you're bringing to us internally. Let it slow us down. There are parts of us that usually stay busy even in sleep. Parts that dream intensely, that clench through the night, that wake us up with racing thoughts. God, we bring those parts to you now. We ask for gentleness not just in falling asleep, but in the hours that follow. We release the pressure to wake up tomorrow already strong, already motivated, already positive. God, rest doesn't have to be productive. Sleep doesn't have to prepare us to perform. It simply restores what's been depleted. Some of us are holding quiet disappointments that haven't been spoken out loud, expectations that weren't met, prayers that didn't seem to be answered the way we hoped. God, those disappointments can make rest feel complicated. We bring them to you without trying to resolve them. We trust they are safe in your presence, even unresolved. As our breathing continues, we notice pauses between breaths, little moments of stillness. God, let those pauses remind us that life doesn't require constant effort. There is space, there is margin, there is room to simply exist. We give you permission to work beneath the surface, in ways we can't track, in ways we don't need to understand. God, tend to our hearts while we rest. Untangle what's knotted, soothe what's inflamed, restore what's been worn down. Some of us feel a quiet vulnerability right now. When defenses drop, when the noise fades, we feel more exposed. God, meet us there with reassurance. Remind us that vulnerability is not danger, that softness does not invite harm, that we are protected in this moment. We notice that our inner dialogue has slowed. The commentary has quieted. God, thank you for that relief. Thank you for the silence between thoughts. We don't fill it, we let it be. If emotions surface unexpectedly, we allow them. Tears we didn't expect. A sudden wave of relief, a sense of release. God, we trust that whatever comes up is part of letting go. We don't suppress it. We don't dramatize it. We simply let it move through. We bring you our hearts as they are now. Less guarded, less tense, more open than they were before. God, keep us in this gentle state. Let nothing jar us back into urgency or fear. Some of us are used to falling asleep distracted, with noise, with screens, with constant stimulation. God, tonight feels different. Quieter, slower. Help us stay here. Help us trust the stillness. We acknowledge that rest can feel undeserved sometimes, like we should have done more before stopping. God, we release that belief. Rest is not a reward, it's a necessity. And tonight, we receive it without guilt. Our muscles relax further. Our breathing becomes almost automatic. God, thank you for designing our bodies to rest, even when our minds struggle. We no longer feel the need to rehearse tomorrow. The night doesn't require that from us. God, keep tomorrow at a distance for now. Let it wait. There is a sense of being watched over without being monitored, of being cared for without being managed. God, let that sense of quiet protection surround us. Let it replace any lingering anxiety. We stay here not rushing towards sleep but welcoming it as it approaches naturally. God, let this transition be smooth. Let our minds drift gently. Let our bodies surrender without resistance. Nothing needs to be added to this moment. Nothing needs to be fixed. God, thank you for this deepening calm, for this steady slowing, for this peace that feels less like something we're reaching for, and more like something we're resting inside. And as this stillness continues to grow, we remain relaxed, open, and at ease, allowing the night to carry us further into rest as this prayer continues forward. Now, there is very little effort left in us, and that's not a problem. It's a sign that something has shifted. God, we don't need to hold ourselves up anymore. We allow ourselves to be fully supported, fully carried in this quiet moment. Our thoughts feel slower now, almost distant. When they appear, they don't stay long, they don't ask for attention. God, help us trust this space where thinking becomes optional, where silence doesn't feel awkward or empty but gentle and safe. Some of us notice how the body responds when the heart lets go. The breath moves on its own. The chest rises and falls without instruction. God, thank you for this reminder that we are not responsible for everything. So much of life continues even when we rest. There's a softness inside us now that may feel unfamiliar. A tenderness that comes when defenses are lowered. God, protect this softness. Let it be a place of healing, not fear. Let us rest without bracing for impact. We are no longer reviewing the day in detail. The sharp edges have dulled. The moments that once felt loud have faded into the background. God, thank you for giving distance from what no longer needs our attention tonight. Some of us are used to falling asleep with tension still wrapped around our hearts. Tonight feels different. There's a sense of permission to fully stop. God, we receive that permission. We don't question it. We don't rush past it. If there is any remaining tightness in our body, we notice it gently. Not with frustration, just awareness. God, we invite that last bit of tension to soften. We don't force release. We allow it to happen in its own time. Our minds feel less crowded now. Fewer voices. Less internal noise. God, let this quiet remain undisturbed. Let it deepen naturally as the night goes on. Some of us have been carrying emotional fatigue for a long time. The kind that doesn't go away with one good night of sleep. God, tonight we're not asking for instant healing. We're asking for rest that begins the process. Rest that restores slowly, gently, faithfully. We let go of the need to make sense of everything. Understanding can wait. Clarity can wait. God, nothing important will be lost. Because we rested tonight, there is a sense of floating now, of being between wakefulness and sleep. God, meet us in this in-between space. Let it be peaceful, not unsettling. Let it feel like a bridge, not a drop. Some of us notice emotions dissolving rather than disappearing. They don't vanish suddenly. They simply lose their intensity. God, thank you for that gradual easing, for not rushing us, for not forcing resolution. We trust that even as our awareness fades, you remain present. God, we don't need to stay conscious to be cared for. We don't need to stay alert to be safe. Our breathing becomes deeper, slower, quieter. God, let each breath carry us further away from urgency and closer to rest. We release any remaining fear of the quiet, any belief that silence is dangerous or lonely. God, replace that fear with a sense of companionship, a sense that we are not alone even as we drift. Some of us are so used to noise that peace feels strange. God, help us accept peace without suspicion. Let us rest without waiting for disruption. Our bodies feel heavy now, fully settled. God, thank you for this physical sign of letting go. Thank you for creating rest as something we don't have to think our way into. The world feels far away. The demands of life feel distant. God, keep them there for now. Nothing needs us in this moment. We allow our thoughts to blur, to lose their edges. God, let the lines between thoughts soften until they no longer need to form at all. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to bring, nothing left to explain. God, we rest in that simplicity. We feel ourselves drifting slowly, naturally, not falling, not forcing, just easing into sleep. God, guide this transition with gentleness. If dreams come, let them be calm. If sleep comes quickly, let it be deep. If rest comes slowly, let it be peaceful. God, however this night unfolds, we trust you with it. We no longer hold on to this prayer with effort. It carries us now. Our awareness loosens, our presence softens. We remain in this quiet surrender, allowing the night to continue its work, knowing that deeper rest is close and that nothing needs to interrupt this gentle descent as the prayer continues onward. At this point, we are barely holding on to words, and that feels right. The mind is quieter than it's been all day. The body is settled. God, we don't resist this fading awareness. We allow it to happen naturally, trusting that rest knows the way. There's a sense now of being wrapped in something steady, not tight, not restrictive, just present. God, let this feeling of being held replace any remaining sense of isolation. Even as consciousness softens, we are not alone. Our thoughts are no longer forming full stories. They appear as fragments, then dissolve. God, thank you for this gentle unraveling. Thank you for letting the mind finally release its grip. Some of us are used to fighting sleep without realizing it, holding on out of habit, staying half alert. God, tonight we let go of that habit. We don't need to stay on guard. Nothing requires our vigilance right now. The line between thought and rest is thinning. God, help us cross it without effort, without fear, without needing control, just a slow, natural drift. We feel less like we're doing something and more like something is happening to us. God, thank you for being active even when we are still, for working even when we are unaware. There is a deep quiet now, the kind that reaches places noise never could. God, let this quiet continue its work. Let it touch old fatigue, long-standing tension, emotional weariness that words never reached. Some of us haven't truly rested in a long time. Even sleep has been shallow. God, tonight we ask for rest that goes deeper than habit, rest that resets, rest that gently restores. We no longer feel the need to check in with ourselves, to ask if we're okay, to monitor our state. God, we trust that we are safe enough to stop checking. The body feels distant now, heavy and still. The breath is slow and quiet. God, let this physical surrender mirror an inner one. Let us rest without resistance. Any remaining worries feel far away, like echoes rather than voices. God, keep them distant. Let them lose their pull completely as sleep approaches. We are no longer organizing thoughts or emotions, they are simply passing through unstructured, unimportant. God, thank you for this freedom from mental effort. There is a sense of being carried forward without needing to steer. God, we trust you with the direction. We trust you with the pace. If the mind briefly wakes, we don't grab onto it. We let it pass. God, teach us that rest doesn't have to be perfect to be effective. We feel ourselves slipping further into stillness. God, let this be smooth, let this be calm, let this be uninterrupted. Nothing from today needs to follow us into sleep. Nothing from tomorrow needs to arrive early. God, keep this moment sealed in peace. We are no longer fully present in thought, but still held in care. God, thank you that your presence does not depend on our awareness. The quiet feels complete now, full, sufficient. God, let us remain here as long as we need. We don't cling to wakefulness. We don't fear sleep. We simply allow the transition to continue. Our breathing becomes almost imperceptible, our bodies completely at rest. God, cover this night with gentleness. If we drift in and out, let there be no anxiety. Let each return to awareness be calm. Let each release be easy. We no longer carry intention. Even this prayer fades into the background. God, let that be okay. Let rest take over fully. There is nothing left to ask for, nothing left to give. We are empty in the best way. We trust that this quiet will carry us the rest of the way, that sleep is near, that peace is already here. And as we hover on the edge of deep rest, we remain surrendered, unguarded and calm, allowing the night to finish what it has begun as this prayer gently continues toward its final stillness. Now there is almost no effort left anywhere inside us. Even the idea of trying feels distant. The body has settled completely, and the mind no longer looks for something to hold on to. God, we don't resist this fading awareness. We trust it. We allow ourselves to drift without fear, without needing to stay present. There is a deep sense of quiet safety now. Not something we are analyzing or naming, just something we are inside of. It surrounds us without pressure. God, let this feeling stay. Let it move beyond this moment and into our sleep, into our breathing, into the deeper layers of rest we don't consciously reach. We are no longer listening for anything. No signals, no thoughts, no reminders. God, thank you. Thank you that vigilance is no longer required. Thank you that nothing is expected of us now. We are allowed to fully disappear into rest without losing ourselves. Our breathing is slow and effortless. Each breath comes naturally, without intention. God, let every breath guide us further away from effort and further into peace. Let our nervous system settle into this rhythm and stay here. If there is any last tension hidden somewhere in the body, we don't search for it. We don't try to fix it. God, let it dissolve on its own without attention. Let the body rest without supervision. The sense of time has softened. Minutes don't matter anymore. God, we release our attachment to time completely. There is no schedule in rest, no urgency, no requirement to move forward. Thoughts, if they appear at all, feel unfinished. They dissolve before becoming clear. God, thank you for quieting the mind without force. Thank you for letting language fade, for letting meaning rest. We trust that even as our awareness fades, you remain present. God, we don't need to stay conscious to be cared for. We don't need to remember anything to be protected. Your care does not depend on our attention. The body feels heavy now, fully surrendered to stillness, supported completely. God, thank you for this weight that signals safety. Thank you for creating rest that feels grounding rather than empty. We are no longer thinking about tomorrow. The future feels far away, not threatening, not demanding. God, keep it there for now. Tomorrow will arrive with its own strength. Tonight belongs to rest. If the mind stirs briefly, we don't engage it. We don't follow it. God, let it settle again naturally, like water returning to stillness after a small ripple. There is a sense now that nothing can interrupt this calm, that even sounds, even movement, even brief waking moments cannot disturb the deeper rest. God, anchor us in this steadiness. We let go of identity for a while. We are not roles, not responsibilities, not expectations. God, let us simply exist without definition, without effort. Sleep feels close now, not as something we chase, but as something that gently arrives. God, guide this transition with care. Let it be smooth. Let it be uninterrupted. We trust the hours ahead. We trust that rest will reach places that words never touched. God, restore what has been drained over time, not quickly, not dramatically, but deeply. If dreams come, let them be calm and untroubled. Let them not stir fear or urgency. God, let the mind rest even while it dreams. If sleep is deep, let it be sustaining. If it is light, let it still be peaceful. God, whatever form rest takes tonight, we receive it without expectation. There is no more asking now, no more offering. Even prayer itself becomes quiet. God, let that be enough. What remains is trust, not words. We are no longer holding the day. We are no longer holding ourselves together. Everything that needed to be released has already been released. The silence now feels complete, not empty. Complete. God, thank you for this stillness that does not require understanding. Our breathing continues, steady and calm. The body fully at rest. The mind no longer active. God, cover this entire night with peace. Let nothing pull us back into alertness. Let nothing disturb the deep rest settling in. God, guard this quiet gently. We drift further now, beyond thought, beyond awareness, beyond effort. God, we surrender fully to sleep, trusting that we are held even here. And in this deep, unbroken calm with nothing left to carry and nothing left to do, we rest completely, knowing we are safe, known, and cared for. Amen.